Parker.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Acting Minister for Economic Development. Did the New Zealand Trade and Enterprise Beachheads Advisory Board in China resign en masse the week before last? If so, for what reasons?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, yes, differences of opinion developed over quite a period of time between the Beachhead Advisory Board and NZTE. It was agreed that the best way forward was actually to start with a clean slate.
The Honourable David Parker.
Did the Minister read the prior warnings in newspaper or other reports quoting David Maryan, the then chair of the Beachhead Board, criticising New Zealand's failure to pursue opportunities under the free trade agreement with China, in which he said, and I quote, "Trade agreements that are not followed by integrated commercial strategies are the most empty of political marriages. New Zealand's free trade agreement signed with China in 2008 is one such unconsummated marriage."
The Honourable David Carter.
Yes, Mr Speaker, I did read those comments and I certainly don't agree with them.
The Honourable David Parker.
Why should New Zealanders have any confidence in the government's handling of trade and investment opportunities with China, given that the mass resignation of the private sector participants in the Beachhead program for China is a vote of no confidence by those most closely involved?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, I'm quite happy to tell the member why we should have confidence in the work of the New Zealand exporters and NZTE. China has become New Zealand's second largest trading partner since 2008. We have observed a 140% increase in the amount of trade with that country. That is the fastest rate of growth in the history of New Zealand and NZTE.
The Honourable David Parker.
Supplementary.
The Honourable David Parker.
Does the Minister intend to replace the private sector Beachhead Board, or is this just another area where the government has no adequate plan to support the growth of the New Zealand economy?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, the Beachhead program is but one suite of mechanisms used by NZTE. It is absolutely an operational matter as to the Advisory Board's relationship with NZTE. It is over to them whether they replace it. But the figures, Mr Speaker, speak for themselves. When you can talk about a 140% increase in trade over 3 years, for the member to suggest that New Zealand is not trading satisfactorily with China is just a plain nonsense.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker. What damage has been done to New Zealand's reputation with our second largest trading partner by the complete collapse of this well-known and effective Beachheads board in the wake of the government's intervention?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, I don't believe any damage has been done which will be a disappointment to the Labor Party.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
Further supplementary. What does the government or the Minister intend to do to restore any damage to New Zealand's reputation in China after this very patent debacle?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, I don't believe any damage has been done to the New Zealand reputation in China at all. What the member needs to realise is the Beachhead program dealt with 12 companies, 12 New Zealand companies working in China. NZTE works with 183 companies quite successfully, as the trade figures demonstrate.
Question number 9, Tim McIndoe.